should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
We're back. Welcome to 90 Day the Melanated Way, TMW Online. I am Linda. That is Abby. We are covering the OG 90 Day Fiance, Season 12, Episode 7, The Ball and Chain. And we're just going to jump right into it, you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us, all the things. There's always a ton happening. Always. Edward and Marissa, overall thoughts on Edward and Marissa this episode?
I'm very curious what Marissa's childhood was like that makes her feel like her parents' opinion is so important at her current age.
I don't know what's happening here, you guys. I personally still don't really understand this relationship. I don't understand the dynamics of the relationship and what each person is getting for the benefit of the relationship. I just don't understand it. Hey, Joslo, welcome back. Marissa is coming in hot. She tells Edward not to hug her mom. Don't call her mom mommy. And this is not the first time that he met her parents, because they came to the DR one time, but I guess there was not a lot of one-on-one interaction. And he's worried because he also, like her ex-husband, feels like the parents can make you feel like you're nothing. And Edward's like, but I'm not intimidated because he feels like he's smart and he's a good person, so that should be enough.
So you think, Edward? So you think?
Money, whether you have it or not, the money discussion is important. I'm gonna leave it there. So it's Joanne and Bob, which are her parents. They arrive, and Marissa's super nervous because Edward's not the type of guy they would have chosen for her. And I'm curious to know what type they would have chosen, because this is not going to be her first marriage, right? They didn't like Michael, and Michael didn't feel worthy, and he's like American, blue-blooded. So what type are you looking for? I'm curious. Not only are her mom and dad coming, but her aunt and uncle, her cousin, and her cousin's boyfriend are all showing up as well. Everyone's Italian, except for what I thought was hilarious is Bob. Her dad is Dominican, which makes so much sense to me because, you know, Edward is Dominican as well. So you guys should have a little bit of compassion because, you know, you came from somewhere, Bob. And is it really Bob? Is it?
It's probably Roberto.
It is Roberto, Bob. So Joanne wants to know all about Edward's background, and he says, you know, it was just the three of us, you know, my siblings and my mom. I don't know my dad. And Joanne says, you know, this relationship is not going to be smooth. The world is not smooth. It's not going to be smooth sailing. I worry because I don't know you. And you know, talk is cheap, so we'll just have to see what you're made of. And you could tell right off the bat that the mom's not on board. She's not on board of whatever's going on here. She's not for it. She's being not even super civil. She's being very direct and acting like, okay, we'll see what happens. But, you know, if it doesn't work out, oh, well, like that's the vibe she's giving. And one of the things that I thought was interesting, Abby, and I don't know if it's just me, and you guys watching, you let me know as well, but is it just me, or does Joanne, who's the mom, look younger than Marissa, who's the daughter?
I've seen a lot of people comment that I'm not good at knowing how old people are from looking at them. So for me, when I look at them, all I see is, oh, they both had a decent amount of plastic surgery, but it doesn't translate into a particular age to me. It's just like, oh, they both have plastic faces.
Oh, what do you guys think? If you're watching the replay of the live chat, let me know, because my note says the mom looks younger than her daughter. That's my note. Anyways, I'd love to know what you guys think, but that's what I saw. Marissa's family is questioning if Edward is good enough, and Edward is saying that just because they're rich, just because they have money and they have, status and class, that shouldn't be a thing. But I'm going to tell you that if you don't have the discussions, that absolutely is a thing. Let's be real in the real world right now.
Yeah, I also don't think that he has any experience with WASP families. Do you know what that means? Is that a term that you guys use?
Yes.
That's a completely different ballpark from
Yes.
just dealing with a wealthy family. They're a waspy family.
Yes. Yes and yes. Johnson said, I agree, Linda. That's what I thought too. Tina says, yeah, she does look older than her mom. Becca, hey Becca. Becca said someone else said they give Tori Spelling and her mom vibes, and LOL.
Oh my gosh. I haven't thought about Tori Spelling in years, but yes. Because even when she was on 90210, I think we're around the same age, she always looked older.
Who, Tori Spelling?
Yes, Tori Spelling has looked older than our age her entire life.
Yeah, agreed. But again, I don't know. I think maybe, no, I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. Well, maybe I will. I just think, Marissa, maybe you need to change your makeup. You have dry skin, and the makeup that you have on your face is caking on your skin. It's not giving you the dewy look that you probably want. And your mom has a more of a dewy look, and that's why she looks younger than you. Just change your makeup.
Skincare detour, you guys, because Linda has fantastic skincare. I love skincare. You'll find this out on our IG pages. But when I was younger, I fought my oily skin because I just thought that it looked bad. It is your best asset.
Okay? I just said that the other day, Abby.
Mm-hmm.
I just said that I literally just was talking to my nurse, and I said the exact same thing. Go ahead, continue on.
Yeah, it is. I mean, moisturize. I would not moisturize my face when I was younger because I had oily skin. That is the wrong thing to do. Keep moisturizing. It is your friend. You cannot overhydrate. You need to get you some moisture spritz, some hyaluronic acid, and a nice thick moisturizer to wear at night, every night. Okay?
Listen, Abby, listen. I have the oiliest skin, but I'll tell you guys, you see this glow? This is all just oil. But it also is why I look so young. And I'm not mad at it. As a child, I hated it. I was like, I want to have dry skin like my friends. And now look. Hey, Tina said, wait, how old is Marissa? I just turned 53 last month. Happy belated, Tina. Sometimes people
do too much. She's saying they do too much when they don't have to.
Yeah.
I got you, Tina.
She's 45.
Yeah, I think that she's done too much. She has been on TV for years. I don't know if you guys ever watch this show, Say Yes to the Dress. She's been on TV for years, and I can imagine that she's felt some pressure to get some work done, but everybody's work doesn't always come out good.
Get you some moisturizer and get you better makeup. I'm telling you, it will change your life, girl. Her mom goes on to say that, and she says this to Edward's face, that people want to come to America because it's a wonderful place. And I personally just started laughing. And I'm not going to really totally get into it. And I understand what y'all are saying. Like, some people, yes. Do they want to come and get a green card and pursue the American dream? Absolutely. But the last few years have taught us in the world that, maybe the grass is not greener on the other side. And maybe, you decide what's best for you. Ooh, I really just edited.
Well, everybody doesn't have the same goals. And so, it's okay. And I'm glad that he recognizes it in himself. It's okay that you're not chasing after some materialistic money dream. It's okay to live a life that's different from that. When I lived in Mexico, I was healthier. I was naturally skinnier without doing any kind of dieting or anything. I was more mentally stable. I had better work-life balance. Like everybody's not after the same kind of lifestyle. So for them to assume everybody wants to come here, it already tells me a lot of things about them and nothing about him.
That part. Joanne goes on to say that her daughter is a beautiful being and very lovable, and asks Edward, what makes her special to you? Edward
Can we just
Lamson,
stop here for a second? Do we feel like Marissa is very loving and lovable?
I mean, those are what I would have led with. That's not what I would have led with her. I think everyone's
That's
lovable. Have I seen these two act lovingly towards each other? I haven't seen that yet, but
I have not seen, even when she talks to her kids, I have not seen her be expressly loving. That does
Tina,
not come out to me.
Tina says no. Becca says no. Everyone is agreeing with you. We haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean it's not true. We just haven't seen it, right? So the thing that I just think about Joanne is that, yes, be your daughter's biggest cheerleader. That's the role of a mom. I get that. But also be open-minded. And I'm not seeing that from her side. So I'm kind of like, eh. So when she asks what makes her special to you, Edward says, he's been through a lot. And I want respect, loyalty, and no lying. And I found that in Marissa. And Marissa didn't like that answer at all. She's like, what about the lovable person I am, my heart, my caring nature, which is funny because that's what the mom said, which is what Abby just said. We haven't seen it. So maybe Edward hasn't seen it either. And that's why you lead with that. So it's so interesting how you perceive yourself and how others perceive you. So you and your mom perceive you as a loving, caring individual. And that's not what's being portrayed.
Yeah.
Because no one would have started with that. Go ahead, Abby.
I would love to actually hear more about that. We're probably not going to, but for me, like in my family, I won't say it's like American culture because obviously she's not doing it. But one of the biggest ways that you show that you love somebody is in your food preparation. And she gave him those cold, hard-boiled, refrigerated eggs. Like nothing about that says love to me. All the instructions she gave him coming into the house doesn't feel loving and welcoming. Like nothing has happened in the 7 episodes that we've seen so far where I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I can see why he fell for her."
Yeah, absolutely not. It's all transactional. And someone just said that. Tina, everything feels transactional with her. I agree. I mean, not when people, okay, this is what I know growing up. When people come to stay with you, you stock your fridge with all the things that they love, and you say, hey, help yourself. Whatever you want, just have it. And then you make breakfasts, you make coffees, you make lunches, you make dinners, you drive them wherever they want to go because you know what? They're your guests and you want your guests to have an amazing time. Now, can you imagine this person? I guess that's your future husband. And instead of making him feel welcome, because this is now both of your home, you are dictating to him like he's your child. Take your shoes off, make the bed like this. Don't hug my mother. Don't call her mommy. No, we're not going to make any of your Dominican food. You know, like they're all just rule, 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 rule. We're gonna go for a walk here. No, you can't eat any of the cake or the cookies because it's breakfast time. I'm not making any meals because you're gonna have this protein shake because that's what I have in the morning. Like I could go on, but nowhere in there do I feel loving, welcoming, supportive, caring, none of that. Right? Because what you could have done too, if you really wanted to make him feel welcome, Marissa, is have some of his favorite stuff from home because you know he's not going to be able to come home for a long time, over a year. Have some of his favorite stuff from home so when he landed, he actually feels welcome and comfortable. Y'all know I will go home and have my mother cook all of my favorite things and like a true African have food cooked and approved in my suitcase so that whenever I'm feeling a little blah, I just have to heat it up and it's a touch of home. So she could easily have done that, but she didn't. So caring and loving, I guess will remain to be seen. Joanne goes on to say that these 90 days are going to be important. They're going to learn a lot about themselves. And if it works out, cool. Let's see. But if not, hope you're strong enough to make it on your own. God bless you, literally was what she said.
Wild.
Just absolute nonsense. Nonsense. And I thought it was interesting that we didn't hear anything from the dad.
Not a peep.
Not a peep, right? Because you know what? He's Dominican. Don't be talking crazy. Just because you're American now. It was just not what I was about to say, Bob.
Yeah, but he might be. I mean, we have quite a bit of immigrants here who are not proud of their own immigrant heritage or their own nationality. So we don't know where he falls on that spectrum. Being in a WASPy family, I would assume that he's not particularly proud of that heritage, which is interesting because they're very proud of being Italian and they're probably like third or fourth generation Italian, where the Italians wouldn't even say they're Italian anymore, but that's their business.
Yeah, that's all I have for them. I'm curious to see where this plays out. We're moving on unless you have something else you want to add about this couple.
Nothing about them. Let's go on to talk about personal responsibility.
Who?
Mito and Debbie.
Okay, I don't. Why is this still a thing? Why are we even talking about this? He should have been on a plane. But you guys, you want to know why he's on a plane? Because he's a broke bee. This fool is broke. He thought that Debbie is gonna buy his plane. Listen, I'm so mad at this whole situation. Why is this such a why are they a couple still? Why? Why are we even talking about it? And you know what, Debbie? Dear Debbie, whatever it is that you're doing here, you need to stop doing it. I don't know what the hell, what you feel you need, what you're getting out of this situation, but it's just making you look terrible each and every episode. So here we go. Producer asks Mita what happened in the car. Mita says, I don't know. I didn't do anything. She started crying. She was frustrated. She wanted to have a conversation. I was like, conversation for what? Right. Astra and Laura speak to camera. They're shocked how everything went south super fast. And they continue to say that you don't treat women in the US like this. And they're worried that if he's acting this way in public with all of these people, how is he treating Debbie behind closed doors? Which is an absolutely excellent question, you guys. Excellent question. And they just feel like it doesn't look good and that Debbie doesn't deserve this. And agreed, Debbie, you don't deserve this. And again, what is he bringing to the table? Because I'm not even seeing any love at all, period. You're his agent. You're his videographer, you're his photographer, and you're supposed to be his biggest fan in his mind. That's all you are to him. And also, you are his bankroll. So explain to me what the hell's going on here. I need to see a little something. And if you guys know in the live chat, if you guys know in the replay, someone explain what the hell's going on here. Because why am I wasting? I have 2 pages of notes. Why am I wasting it? This should be go home, goodbye. So moving on. Mito plans to quote unquote go home to his country as he's looking for an Uber. And I know broke behavior because you know how long it took him to find an Uber, and it doesn't take long to get an Uber. It only takes long to get an Uber if you don't have money and maybe it's surging and you're waiting and you're all the things. Because he looked at that Uber app way too long, or whatever rideshare app he took to get home. Okay, so then the producers go to Debbie and they ask her the same question. What happened? Debbie tells the producer it's a bad day. She blames herself and says that she had a mini meltdown. And instead of compassion, she got, what do you have to be crying for? I said to her, first of all, why are you blaming yourself? You had a meltdown. You literally said, can we have a conversation? That's not a meltdown. You got angry when he said, what do you want to have a conversation about? So that was my first red flag for Debbie. So now you're going to blame yourself and you're going to minimize how this man was talking and behaving. And let's all not forget he's 41 years old. He's not 20 or 30. He's 41, which is closer to 50 than it is to 30. So grown up with no grown up behavior. So stop it, Debbie. Stop it. So then she goes on to say that she just felt like there was no compassion for herself, for her and her needs and her meltdown. Then we see Mito arrive from his rideshare and was able to get into the house. And when I say to you guys, I yelled, I said this, and look, I have a star. I have a star in my notes. It couldn't be me. Because first of all, you would not have a key or the locks would have already been changed. Second of all, I would have had his shit packed and outside. Go ahead and figure it out. Because what you're not about to do is disrespect me in public, in front of my friends, talk crazy to me while I'm feeding you, housing you, and clothing you for free. Go ahead and wrap that shit up and figure it out. You keep saying that you're going to go home. You keep warning that if I'm not in line with all your shit, that you're going to go home. Go ahead and go home. Here you go. Couldn't be me, Abby. Could not be me.
Yeah, this is, I mean, all I can say is, Debbie, you got to be responsible for what happens from here on out. There's no way that if you decide to go through with this, then you can say he defrauded me or he committed fraud. You have enough information to make a different choice right now, and you got to take some personal responsibility. In a box to the left.
In a box to the left.
To the left,
and
to the left.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Listen, you guys, I don't get it. I just don't get it. So here's the thing. This is where I was like, what's happening with this couple? Mito says Debbie made a big mistake when she questioned his virginity. She pushed him too far. I said, and then said, shut your mouth. I will not deal with that. It's finished. It's over. And then when he said, you guys, okay, first of all, what? Be done. Be done. But you're saying all that while you're wrapped up in a comfy, cozy bathrobe that I know that you didn't pay for, in the bed that you didn't pay for, with the lights on that you don't pay for. So what are you saying exactly? Then he said, and this is where I knew Abby, myself, any of you guys that are frequent travelers, you buy last minute tickets. I buy like all the time. Okay. All the time. You're like on a whim. Hey, I'm going to go so-and-so. When he said that he was checking flights and you couldn't find a flight to Egypt. You couldn't find a flight. No. You know what my note said? Do you know what my note said, Abby?
You couldn't afford.
You couldn't find, there were no free flights. Because that's not how it works. You broke bum. You couldn't find a flight. You should have said, I couldn't find a free flight. I'm waiting for Debbie to buy me a flight.
So he just needs to just like, you contact your embassy. If you're ever in this kind of issue and you need to get out of the country, just contact the embassy. They will let you do a reimbursement program, or they'll take it out of your Social Security if you don't repay it.
That's excellent advice. I actually didn't even know that.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's embassy does it, but I feel like the Egyptian embassy would help people repatriate, and the US embassy will do it too. Like I met somebody who was trying to figure out why he wasn't getting his Social Security immediately. And when I looked into it, I was like, oh, like the State Department is like taking your Social Security for something. And then he was like, oh, yeah, I got sick a couple of years ago when I was traveling and they paid for my like flight back to the US and medical treatment and stuff.
Debbie says that she is not going to take being called the B word or Mito screaming at her friends, and then says, and this is, you have to listen to the words, if he wants to go, he can pack and go. Not, I want him to leave. Not, it's over. If he wants to go. So she's still holding
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
crazy, I don't know why, I just don't get it. And so again, my note says, why are we still even talking about this? What do you mean if he wants to go? Why is this not already over? And then, so the next day, we're reminded they have 59 days to get married. And Debbie says it's a huge mess. And she's not going, she's been married before. She doesn't want to, quote, walk alone again. Because, you know, you can be married but alone. That's a whole other conversation. And some of you guys choose to live your life like that. You can be in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship and walking alone. And you rather do that and say you're in a relationship or married than actually being in a proper situation where you're happy and fulfilled, and or even single and happy and fulfilled and living your best life. But that's on you. So Mita said if he had a ticket, he would go back to Egypt again, showing his broke bum self, right? Because it's now morning. You could go ahead and just book your ticket. This is 2026. What are you talking about if you had a ticket? You mean if you had the money for a ticket? That's what you were
Exactly.
to say that. Um, this is what my note says. Mito said if he had a ticket, he would go back to Egypt. SMH. He's broke, so he's still laying in the bed for free.
He can only participate in free activities. Making an apology is free, so that's probably what he's going to end up doing.
100%. Debbie is meeting with her friend Astra. She doesn't feel like talking to Mito right now. She's embarrassed about his behavior from the night before. Astra says, hey, listen, I don't know what's going on here, but you need to get out. He's over 40. He needs to grow up. And how is he treating you behind closed doors? And then here's where I got mad because Debbie defends him, says he was having a bad day. Yeah, that's it. I'm not even going to say anything. That's what she said. And Astra ignored what she said as well and said, but does he love you? Like, does he love you? Does he want to be with you? And then when Debbie said that she doesn't know, I said again, why are we still talking about this? You know exactly, but you're holding on for God knows what. I don't know what. I don't know why you're trying to be with him because you know he's not trying to be with you for real, for real. He doesn't want to be with you at all, period, full stop. He wants to be an actor in Hollywood and famous, and he wants you to pay for it, and you're putting up for it. For what? Are you flattered that some friggin' young Egyptian guy chose you? Is that what is
Mm-hmm.
what's on here? Because then we're gonna need to talk about your self-worth because that sounds ridiculous to me. She doesn't know. Astra's like, well, do you think he's here for you or is he here to be on TV? Again, she didn't know the answer to that, but I know you know. You just don't want to say it out loud because you don't want to seem foolish. Astra says, you know what? I don't think you should give him another chance. I don't think you should marry him. And Debbie ignored all of that and said, well, he's going to have to apologize to me. Abby. Abby.
Debbie's a bird.
Hey, Kyle. Olivia said he probably wanted production to buy him a ticket with his puppy dog eyes. Facts. And Josla said, Astor said all the right things. What does Debbie get out of it?
You guys, we've been trying to figure it out. Like, we know that some people just really want love so badly, but in this case, he's not even like blowing smoke up her butt. Like, he's not even pretending. So what is it that she's clinging to? We don't really understand, because in other cases, at least we could say, oh, the person is like they show them affection sometimes, or they get them gifts sometimes. Like, in other cases, we see the straws they're grasping at. But in this case, I do not understand. He showed up without telling her he was getting on the plane. He refuses to do any chores. They are not having any kind of intimacy. He wouldn't help move. He doesn't entertain her friends. He doesn't entertain her. They don't have a social media presence together. So, like, I do not get what she's getting out of this. And I'm not saying that facetiously.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm wasting my time on the nonsense. I just don't. I'm wasting time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, because here's what happens. She literally said that basically she's going to take him back if he apologizes. And even though he doesn't show that he loves her or cares for her, she doesn't know what to do. And here's the PG version. WTF what? That's my note. What do you mean you don't know what to do? We all know what to do. You need to kick him to the curb. Kick him to the curb. Let him figure it out by himself. You sound crazy. Do you want to add anything before I move on?
No, let's go. Annabelle and Shay.
Okay. You go first. Okay, you guys.
Is anybody worried about STDs?
Ew.
Anybody?
Ew. Ew. Ew.
Does anybody care about their health?
I don't understand what's going on here either. And I'm just going to say, for the record, I feel like this about almost all the couples. I just don't understand what's going on. I understand that Abby has explained to us that Shay in Middle America is a prize. Okay. But I don't see it. And I don't even feel like he treats himself like he is a prize. Like, what's happening right now? Because I feel like I'm in a warped reality, and I know I'm watching a reality show, but can we be real right now?
I want Annabelle to go home, but she's not gonna.
Oh, Tina, thank you so much for the super chat. We'll always engage. We love all of y'all. Thank you for being a part of our community. Appreciate you. Okay, so listen, Shay. Okay, Annabelle comes home from her girls' mani-pedi day, and apparently she feels better. She talked to Angie and Allison, the daughter, and allegedly she feels better, which I just don't believe it, but that's what she says. She feels like she heard the truth and she believes them, but she still feels like there's one problem, which is his ex-wife that he was married to for 2 minutes, Nicole. So she forgives him, literally says, I forgive you. And he says, I love you. But from this point forward, you need to be on your best behavior now. Because I gave up, you know how many times I heard this in this episode? I gave up everything for you to come to America. And those things are all true. And the immigrant who emigrates to the country does have a right to say that, because I think some of y'all don't realize how hard it is to leave everything that you've ever known. And I know you guys don't know, because some of you have not left the 4-foot radius that you grew up in. Some of you have never left. You have never left it. And I know it because I hear you guys tell me it all the time. Oh, I live in such and such. And no, I have always lived here. Me and my family have lived here for 40 years. Like, so you haven't been to Vegas? You haven't been to Vegas.
Mm-mm.
You haven't driven down the street to San Diego. Like, I'm just. So when they say that, I want you to know that that's a valid point. If you haven't left your neighborhood, can you imagine picking up all your stuff, leaving all your friends and family that you've known forever, leaving your security, your country, all the things to just be with the person that you love? So those are valid points. Do you want to say something, Abby, before I go on with Shay the prize?
No, let's go ahead.
So Shay the prize is being forgiven by Annabelle, and I just don't understand it. She tells him to be on his best behavior, and if he does it again, she's gonna leave. He wants to go and live the same life that he's been living all this time before she got there. So what is it? It's probably Monday Night Football. He wants to do football, beers, game, and food because that's what he's normally doing. He's not making any changes. She's just there now. But she says, no, we're not doing that. We're going to stay home and we're going to have some herbal tea and we're going to do yoga. Now, the rest is just nonsense. Okay, sorry. Let me not okay, let me not do that. She makes the tea and says, we need to do this yoga because you gained a lot of weight since the last time you came to the Philippines. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because all he does is drink beer every single day and party. That's why. So when he went to sit on the floor, you guys, I said that can't be healthy. He could barely get to the floor, you guys. It just can't be healthy. He cannot be healthy. And then she said, I want you to lose weight so that we can have a better sex life. And he made the joke because she's like, I do all the work. I'm always on top. You do nothing. And he made the joke like, oh, I like it like that. But again, I looked at him as he tried to get to the floor. I was like, oh, it's because he can't. And that can't be healthy. And then my note says, OMG, he can't even put his hands over his head. So she was stretching him like this back and forth, you guys. And then look at this. Okay, can you look at this? This is all it was. Like this. You see that? He couldn't do it. He was like this. He couldn't get his... I was shocked and appalled. I was shocked.
He can't put his arms down beside him.
Like this?
Yeah, he can't. His arms are always like this.
That can't be healthy. That can't be healthy. He comes to the conclusion that he may have to give up beer, parties, and women. So the same guy who didn't know the difference between cheating and flirting is going to have to give up women. That told me everything I need to know about him.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how he's the prize, period, full stop. And I'm not impressed with this little relationship going on here, right here. You need to focus on your health, friend. All those things that we were talking about, the spots and all the things, you are not healthy. And drinking beer every single day, all day, every day, and not doing any type of exercise, and you can't even sit on the floor. I don't know. I'm worried about your health, friend.
Yeah, I want to see him try to get in a frog pose.
Girl. Do you want to add anything else before I move on to problematic Katie and Josh?
Let's go, Katie and Josh.
Again, my question is why? Why am I watching this? She literally said that she was not ready, Josh. She said she didn't want this. She didn't want you to come over and she didn't want to get married. She literally told you that when you were complaining about how you had to pay for the immigration process. So I'm not sure what part you didn't hear. And then you continue to put up with the disrespect because, listen, when someone doesn't want something, they're going to not do what you want. They're going to do what they want because they don't want to do what you want them to do. And so her blatantly disrespecting you and is her literally self-sabotaging so that you can walk away, but you continue to not walk away. Instead, you want to shame her. Now, does she have a drinking problem? Absolutely. She absolutely is an alcoholic. However, she already told you that this is not what she wants. I don't know why we're pushing it. I don't know why we're here. Here we are. So he has a desk and a chair now. So they've been spending time setting up the house. It's out of her comfort zone. She doesn't like doing it. And she realizes that she doesn't like living with people, she said literally to his face, because she is also telling you that she doesn't want to get married to you. So they are dealing with the lack of furniture versus a lack of patience. That's what they think the issues are. No, the issue is she's telling you that this is multiple times, this is not what she wants, but you guys are forging ahead. Both of you are forging ahead. I don't know why, Abby, but they are. She also feels like they don't communicate well. Well, you don't, because you both don't listen to each other. You both say it as it is. You're kissing and making out with people and drinking all day and saying this is what you want to do, the party life. He's saying I don't want you to have the party life. He's saying I want to get married and settle down, but yet none of you are coming to common grounds, but yet you still stay in it. I don't understand it. She's like, yeah, I don't understand why you're making this big deal. You know, I spent a year in London, and here's the only point that I agree with. He said, you holidaying or vacationing for a year is different than actually emigrating to another country. It's completely different, you guys. Because guess what? You can put your stuff in storage and be gone, but that's it. You still are part of that country, and you can go back anytime. When you're actually moving, there are so many steps to leaving a country and emigrating to a new country. Money wise, banking wise, credit wise, home wise, education wise, work wise, visa. Like I can go on. So it's not the same. Your little holiday for the year romping around the world is not the same as someone literally moving countries. Abby, you want to add something before I move on here?
Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt like her saying that was also a indication of the fact that she did not want to proceed in this relationship. And this is where personal responsibility comes in for me with Josh. When she said, I told you I wasn't ready, his response was, well, you agreed. And then he plowed on with, getting furniture and stuff. When this doesn't work out, Josh, it's your fault. You got to take some responsibility. She has told you directly and indirectly she does not want to get married. You are hurting yourself at this point to plow forward.
Yep. It's her birthday. I thought it was interesting that Josh didn't actually know how old she was turning. She was turning 27. He thought she was turning 28. So they're going to the bar for her birthday. And we find out that this guy that she hooked up with, Ryan, is in town. So she invited him. And she met Ryan at a run club in Chicago. They went to Berlin together to do the Berlin Run Club. And then they spent 2 weeks going through Europe together. And she said that she had fun with him. And here's the thing. Katie, and I said this in the beginning and you guys didn't believe me, but listen. Katie talks about how she quote unquote makes out with people. And Katie's making out can be that, but it can also be more than that. But she calls everything making out. And that's why when she was like worried that she was, for the streets, and I said she's absolutely for the streets. And then we found out that she was. So I don't know if I believe her when she's saying that she only quote unquote made out with Ryan. Is it made out, or is it made out? Because you interchange those words to sometimes mean sex and sometimes not. So what is it, Katie?
Yeah, I wouldn't be confident that she would remember.
Nope. So she had fun with them, made out a few times. Josh was there, so she literally cheated on Josh to his face 2 out of the 4 times that she quote unquote made out with Ryan. But it's a secret, allegedly. So she thinks that Josh doesn't know. And that's why she's been like a little bit pissy towards him these last few days. Which is terrible, right? You're blaming him for the secret and things that you've done instead of just being open and honest and putting it out on him as if he's done something wrong too. It's very weird. It's very like manipulative. So she sits down and tells him that she has something to tell him. He thinks like, "Are you pregnant?" And she's like, "Yes, no," which that would have been a nightmare. And it's not even something to joke about. This right here is not even stable. And then you're going to bring a poor innocent child into this. Ew, no. Terrible. Absolutely not. So she's like, "I invited someone that you don't get along with and you don't like to my birthday, Ryan." And Josh is like, "Well, that's going to be awkward." And she's like, "Yeah, I just got excited and didn't think it through. And I was mad that they didn't have a conversation about that is the premise of their whole relationship. Like they just do whatever and don't think it through and then don't talk it through." um, Josh's perspective is Ryan and Katie met in Germany. They kissed, and Katie went on to travel with him for 2 weeks while Josh went home. I don't see how you all didn't talk about that and how you thought that that is going to end well, knowing how Katie is.
Right.
Katie told him that they didn't sleep together, and I think this wording is very interesting. He is choosing to take her at her word.
Mm-hmm. He's choosing to remain blind to all the different ways she has rejected him and disrespected him because for whatever personal reasons he wants to plow forward with this marriage and immigration process.
100%. I don't get it. Again, I don't get it. So she's at the party. One of the things I noticed is that all of her friends are male, which says a lot, because I'll tell you, all
You
of her
got to
friends,
be a bird. You got to be a big, big yellow bird for all of your friends to be men. Because they're not even good friends.
listen, they all have effed her, and they're hoping that that happens again because they know that she's a train wreck when she's drunk. So they want to be around for that opportunity. That's it, full stop. And the fact that, and I think that men and women can be friends, absolutely. But I also think that it's interesting when females don't have other female friends. I feel like that says a lot about you. Okay. So they're at the bar. She's nervous. I know again, my note says a lot of her friends are guys. Like they didn't even show one female friend. I know we saw one female friend before, but it's all guys at the party, and she is already drinking. Ryan arrives with a gift and talks about how Katie is his whirlwind friend and she keeps everything interesting, that they did some inappropriate things while they traveled together at Oktoberfest, but he's her wild card. And when her friends ask her, are you ready to either settle down and, get married, or are you still party girl lifestyle? She literally says she is still craving the party life. She's telling you all exactly where she is. She's 26 years old. She wants to continue to party. Josh wants her to turn into some person that she's not, just like we see with Guillermo and Cara. She's showing up exactly who she is and telling you that, and you're either accepting it or you're not accepting it. And if you're accepting it, why are you accepting it? And then why are you also trying to complain and change her? She literally said that she was not ready, and yet here you are wanting to marry her. Katie brings Josh and Ryan outside to have a conversation, and this pissed me off because you brought them outside and then you just stood there and started drinking. And then Josh says to Ryan, "Why are you here?" "What do you mean, why are you here?" "He's here because this fool invited him. She invited him, so he came. What are you talking about? Why are you here?" Then Ryan says, "I've had many conversations with Katie about what she really wants with her life. And also, there's a reason this keeps happening." And I was like, no truer words. She literally said, "I don't want to marry you. I'm not ready." And yet here you are. She starts kissing everyone and sleeping with everyone in front of your face and tells you that she doesn't even like living with someone, meaning she doesn't like living with you. How many times can she tell you that this is not what she wants? And yet here you are complaining. What are you adding, Abby?
Nothing but disbelief. Let's go.
She said nothing but disbelief. Oh God.
Yeah, of course. Tina, I did some crazy stuff back in the, well, not the late 80s, but the 90s, but I never went on a makeout spree. You know why? You know why? I was concerned about STDs.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, Thomas and Paula.
I don't understand. Like, okay, like,
You go.
I don't understand what's happening here. I stole your line. I don't understand what's happening. There's so many things I don't understand the manifestation and how it's hard work. I don't understand what they see in each other exactly. Like they have some loving moments, but they have very strange moments. I don't understand a $25,000 credit limit on a credit card and you refuse to get furniture.
Becca says, I hate them so much, but mostly him.
Let me just, excuse me, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm manifesting so hard. I'm doing all the work in this relationship.
Oh my God, I cannot. I don't even know what's going on. Like, I continue to say this. What is happening? First of all, why are you wasting my time fighting about some nonsense? You're fighting about perfume, you're fighting about rocks, you're fighting about hiking. Like, I have real life problems. Can we keep this pushing? You guys live in a dorm. I don't care about all of that. Like, what's happening?
I don't know.
And if you want to be together, I don't get it. And then this fool, and I think, April, that credit card that he gave her was an American Express black card. Because when he said that he tried to quote unquote lower the limit and he couldn't, the best they could do was give him only 25,000. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Why are you guys living like paupers? Are you a trust fund baby? Like someone, do you work? Because you sit on the floor on bricks.
There's so many things happening. And if this man has never opened the door for you before, what made you think he's going to start opening the door now? I don't understand anything happening.
I feel like I summed it up. They're going on a hike. Like Abby said, she wants him to be a gentleman and open the door for me. This fool doesn't even open the door for himself. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, why are we here now? You've been together for how long? Why is he all of a sudden going to open the door? You guys sit on the floor and you accept it. So, like, what? There's still perfume gate. And she thinks it's a control issue. I also think it's a control issue. He is in the car complaining that he doesn't feel well. His nose is running. His sinuses are itchy, etc., blah, blah, blah. Baby, baby, baby. And he uses all the buzzwords, which also drives me crazy. He's fighting to progress with the day. If you have such allergies, isn't there like Flonase or friggin' whatever the allergy stuff is? Pop some of that stuff and stop crying.
Right. There's no way his allergies are that bad and he's existing in the world.
I mean, even if they are bad, take something for it and stop being a baby.
Exactly. That's so like let's just talk about masculinity for a minute. Like, what is masculinity in today's world? Being able to find a parking spot without whining about it and taking medication when you need it.
That's it. Hey, Subu. Hey, girlhead. Yeah, I don't get it. And I'm not here for any of it. So also, you have all these allergies, but then you're going to go outside and go hiking in the forest.
When every allergen is out there. Yeah, I don't believe him.
I don't believe him either. Then they go outside and then this is manipulation as far as I'm concerned. So he's complaining in the car. They start to get outside and then he says, sorry for all the stuff in the car. I love you. But it's hard for me to be myself when I feel this bad. Oh, baby, baby.
Where? Where? Call the ambulance.
I'm such a baby. I can't handle it. Oh my God, just stop it. This is ew, all of it. And so they both decide that they need to find some type of middle ground. And I agree because, like, why are you guys together? They get back to the house. He's doing some weird yoga stretch on the wall. He needs attention because he's a big baby. So he's like, kiss me. And then she's unpacking after day 2. He's given her some weird bucket for her socks and no closet space. And that is a whole situation because it's between him not wanting to purchase anything, her wanting to get a chest of drawers so that she can put her, delicates and such away. And he doesn't want to pay money. But meanwhile, he's going to give her a credit card and he thinks that she wastes money on frivolous stuff, which, by the way, absolutely not for a $250 rock. That she says is an instrument that will give a return through manifestation.
I'm an equal opportunity laugh at people's belief systems. I just want you to know that in case you're new to watching us here.
No, I think foolish is foolish. I don't give a shit. You did what? And then you packed it and you have to weigh your bags. Okay. Okay. She feels like money's only worth it while you're alive. I mean, she's not wrong, but let's not be stupid and buy stupid stuff. I know in the 80s, there was 2 things that people always talk about: the pet rock and something about the Brooklyn Bridge. And so if you're spending money on rocks, just give me the money. I'll go to the beach. I'll go get you an authentic rock from the beach if we're spending money on rocks nowadays. So just let me know. You send me a DM. You can DM me. You guys know how I say don't slide into my DMs. Slide into my DMs if you want a rock. That you will buy a rock for $250 for me because that is amazing.
Yeah. You want to do that? I can get you one too. I'm on it. I'll have a whole ceremony with it before I send it to you too. I will do that for you.
So he gives her a credit card, and again, you guys, the whole limit. I don't know what this fool does, but he's living like a pauper. But I mean, if he had to beg to lower a limit, it can only be like something Amex Black, as far as I'm concerned. And then to end it, Paula literally said that when she's in Brazil and she needs something, money just flows from nowhere. And I need to know where that flow from nowhere river is so that when that happens to me, I can just be like, hey, I don't know, but it's just going to flow from somewhere. I need to know where that is. Where's the flow from nowhere river? Please, someone
I've met people like her in real life before, by the way. They literally think that just like holding an object and repeating money over and over and over again makes the money come to them. And they'll do it for like hours out of the day.
Oh. Yeah, I got nothing on it. I got nothing. I just not even no. Do whatever works for you, That's cool. Do you want anything else before I move on to Receipt and Mallory?
Ooh, let's go. Receipt and Mallory.
Overall thoughts?
I don't like the way that she keeps categorizing this as a cultural issue. It is not a cultural issue, in my opinion. It is a Mallory and Receipt issue. It's an individual issue that comes up about how we hold friendships. It's not American culture to have male friends. That is a you issue.
Mm-hmm. What is this? Tina said, I gave my neighbor a rock I found in my yard to her for her little son who liked rocks. She went on eBay and told me it was worth $100. I won't be giving any rocks away anymore. Oh, am I
You
am
found
I
a gem in your yard and thought it was a rock.
am I
Well, I mean,
missing
gems are a kind of rock.
I'm sorry. Am I missing a rock culture? Are rocks a thing? Because I'll go to the beach, you guys. Please, someone tell me.
I
If you're
mean, the
finding
gem ones
$20
do.
rock,
Yeah.
you're finding $100 rocks. Oh Lord, I'm out of it. Clearly, we're all on the rock phase. Yeah, I don't know, you guys, but we're missing out clearly. Okay, I don't have a lot for them. He let the dog sleep in the bed, which we already knew was going to happen at some point. So be up in arms if you must. Mallory said that the night before, Rizzi got white girl wasted, and then there was some weird thing that he said that no one explained. He just said a bunch of string of words, and the words were toilet, hot, butthole, cry, and pain. I thought that meant something totally different. And yes, maybe my mind was in the gutter, but that like those words don't even form a sentence. And no one's gonna explain it to us, but you're gonna force me to listen to it. Like what?
I thought he was saying that he was going to eat something really spicy and it was going to come out the other end in the toilet later on and burn that exit hole.
But how did you get that from being white girl wasted? Like
Not from getting white girl wasted, but from the part where Mallory says like, "Oh, we're going to eat that breakfast you like," or something she said like that.
well, maybe okay. That's good translation, Abby. I was like, what is he saying here? It's so stupid. Apparently he had fun last night, which is not what I saw in the previous episode. I didn't see him having any type of fun, but apparently he had a lot of fun, but he still doesn't want her to be friends with her ex Brandon. And talked a lot about Brandon, saying that Brandon didn't listen to him, that he's a very angry guy, and he told me to get the F off my truck, and all of the things that, had he known the etiquette about tailgating, then he probably wouldn't feel that way. And then you came super aggressive to him, and he responded in that same aggression. So, do you want to share that part? And like, why wasn't Mallory there to like? I don't like, Abby, how Mallory's kind of just sitting on the fence with this, because the issue is bigger than what she's making out to be. And she's making it out like it's a Brandon Rizit issue, when really it's her and her husband, or husband to be, haven't talked about what being married looks like for the both of them. She had told him that she doesn't want to have kids. She goes on to say that she, quote, doesn't think that she can completely cut Brandon out of her life, and he's going to be around because her best friend is married to his best friend, which is just a cop out to say that you don't want to deal with what your future husband is trying to make you do. So why don't you two talk about what friendships and marriage and your relationship looks like before you actually get married? Like, why are we avoiding the conversations that you have to have? I don't get it. And then says, like Abby said, well, I don't understand. He's having a problem with my American culture. Maybe he should have married a Turkish woman. No, it's not about the culture. It's about you not wanting to talk to your future husband about the real issues.
Right. Because what she should just say is, I'm going to be friends with him. I don't want you to approach him about it. So what is your response in that? Is your response, okay, I'm fine with it? Is your response, okay, our relationship is over, but I'm not going to keep going back and forth about it. So this is what I want. I'm not negotiating about it. What is your response to that? What is your action that you are taking in response to that? Are you staying or are you going? That's it. But I'm not going to constantly return to this, what you want, what I want. We're not going to keep returning to this.
Yeah. And last, and certainly something, Aisha and Maxwell. And it's Aisha because he calls her Asia. And so then, you know how I've been phonetically writing out her name because I don't know what it is. Is it Aisha?
I mean, we've been calling her Aisha, but it is spelled Aisha. So, I mean, I haven't heard her say her own name.
Me neither.
So, he said Aisha. His family is saying Aisha. So, maybe that's what she likes to be called. Their segment is really interesting to me because there's I've noticed that whenever I see people get married who are from West Africa, that the person they're marrying is in like a battle between the requirements of the person they're marrying and the requirements of the family they're marrying into. And those things don't always match. And so it creates this really difficult place for an American to fit into, whereas I think it's, more understood by people who are from that area. Do you know what I'm talking about?
100%. I mean, I had this conversation with my mom recently. There are a lot of pressures and a lot of expectations, a lot of cultural things in West Africa that you have to abide by in your family. You just have to, period, full stop. And so I could see how it could be hard for any non-West African that is marrying into that. There was a lot, there's a lot of expectations.
Mm-hmm. I shouldn't even just say West African.
They said something really interesting too, because when they talk about the firstborn son, like that's a whole different pressure, it's a whole different thing. And especially if you're not only the firstborn, but the only son in the family, it's like, y'all, you guys need to get my mom on here because she can tell you all the things. But all the things that we are seeing here are all real things and all real concerns. And it may not make sense to Americans specifically because you're like, wait, what? Like, why would the mom say, like, how many kids? And, oh, no, we want 4. It's a thing. It's a thing. There are certain expectations from the children in the family.
And I think for the American, it's hard because what is the consequence? You know what I mean? Like, if I do something that my parents don't like, they don't like it, and we either still we still see each other, or they don't like it and we don't see each other. That's it.
And
there's no like
explain, Abby, because that is just not even a choice in African families. Like, first of all, what? Like, what are you saying? Like, it's your parents' way, it's the African way, and that's it. Like, I feel stressed. Look, and I'm even I don't know what you're talking about. I just don't even know what you're talking about. Like, that's just crazy. That's crazy talk to me. And I'm grown, so you can. It's just different. Okay, I'm gonna run through this real quick.
Okay.
So Maxwell, and first of all, his name is not Maxwell, and that's just outrageous. Like, just if we're gonna be on a show and it's gonna be about, immigration and 90-day fiancés and all of that, just like tell us your real name. Okay, so like my Guinean name is Athea, which means born on Friday. I was called Linda because my mom wanted to make it easier for everyone to say my name, as well as, for me to fit in Canada. It also has a meaning behind it. When my parents first moved to Canada, my mom was learning English, and she was learning English by watching Wonder Woman and Linda
Carter.
Thank you, because I was going to say something else, but Wonder Woman, that's who my mom learned English from, by watching that show every day. And so when she finally had a kid, she named me after the woman that taught her English, and that's a true story. Okay, so Maxwell. They hadn't seen each other in 8 months. They are off to see his parents, and he wants her to cover up her body because it's all conservative. And I promise you guys, that's a whole thing. I still deal with that with my mom. Like, it's a whole thing. Conservative Christian values, 100% African ways. So she's going to put on a sweater as a sign of respect. And she is struggling because he wants her to look sexy. But then she's like, well, sexy but then I want to be comfortable. Then I want to be cute, but then you want me to be conservative. So, like, what is it that you want? She's trying to figure it out. And those are all valid questions to have, right? Because he wants her to be sexy on the one hand, but then he says, only for me. But then only for me, does that mean when we're outside together on date night? Like, what does that mean? Or does that only mean at the house? Like, you're going to need to elaborate so that she understands what your boundaries are. And then she can say what she's comfortable and what her boundaries are. Right. Because at the end of the day, she's still grown, and she's not part of that culture per se, but she wants to be respectful. But you guys both have to come to an agreement that you both feel comfortable with, as far as I'm concerned. They arrive at the parents. They've actually rented an apartment so that all the families can stay together and spend time together and figure out, you know, are they getting married? What are they doing? Get to know each other. The dad, Clemente, he got this cola thing, and I actually don't know it. It's not something that I'm familiar with, but it's a welcome snack, and it's supposed to give you life in abundance. And here's the thing. I personally think, in etiquette wise, if you don't like something, just don't like it and don't finish it, but don't announce that you don't like it, or don't say, oh, this is so spicy, oh, this tastes weird, or why do I have to do this? Like, that's just so disrespectful. You don't have to like everything. You, first of all, trying something new, that's great, and that should be the experience. And now you don't like it, keep that shit to yourself. It's just really disrespectful.
Just ask a question, you guys. If you feel like caught off guard, just be like, oh, what's the name of the spice that's on here? That's new to me. Like, just act, because like I know there. Okay, Linda, here's the problem. We just blurt stuff out. That is a cultural issue. That is a cultural flaw. So
Really,
like, replace your blurt with a question.
and actually, okay, and the question is fine, but I would prefer just for you guys to just keep it to yourself. Talk amongst yourself after. Because even asking a question, we know, oh, what spice is on this? Is like, we know then you're saying, what? You don't like the spice? Like, why are you asking?
Oh, is it? Oh
Like,
my gosh, we gotta.
yesterday, like, what?
Okay, I can see that too. But we have to do something, because this is one of those situations where, even though I'm not like the most patriotic person, the American spirit will rise up in me and need to react.
Okay, but react to yourself. Why can't you react to yourself? Why does it have
I'm
to
telling you, I don't think I would be able to. Even if it's something that I like, I do that. I had this delicious soup in Uzbekistan, and the moment it slid down my gullet, I said, ooh, what spice is that?
Why can't you keep it to
I
yourself?
don't know.
Okay, well, that's that. I guess that's what my question is. Why can't y'all keep it to yourself? Why does it have to be blurted out for everyone? Share amongst yourself later. I don't know. You tell me, but this is just a lot. Maria, the mom, is not impressed by this whole situation. She says love is blind, and when it's blind, you behave like a fool. And she feels like that's what's going on right now, and I died of laughter. That's real talk. His sister Blaze and Mercy are coming by. They're all going to have a big family dinner. Blaze arrives the first time that her and Aisha are meeting face to face. I didn't like the fact that she was talking crazy about the sister to her future husband. Because you know what? You're going to choose your family each and every time. Like, you can never talk crazy about my brother. Ever. Even my other, you can talk crazy about any of my family members. Like, you just couldn't. You just don't do it.
Okay. Right.
Because they're going to choose you. They're going to choose each other over you each and every time. And guess what? They're going to revert to their native language and talk crazy about you all the time. And then you're going to have a terrible marriage because you couldn't keep your stupid mouth shut and you talked about the family. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Blaze explains what I just told you guys. Maxwell is the first son. They value the first son, and they really are going to quiz you and make sure you are all the things that the family is expecting in a spouse. They protect that first son at all costs. I cannot explain it to you. I will say this. First sons can do no wrong. Even when they're wrong, they can do no wrong. First sons, the mom, get to know the mom, get to be on the good side, because that first son is going to be the apple, the core, the leader, the king, the god, all the things, all the time for the whole entire their whole life, you guys. You are marrying the African mom as well. That's how it goes. Period. Full stop. So get to know the mom and get on their good side. So everything that the sister is saying, the first son, anything to take away from the family, they will fight you. They will fight against it. Yes, absolutely, all true. In the meantime, Aisha's talking about how she's not worried about any of this because God brought them together and God will make it everything. They sit down for dinner and they were having fufu. Fufu, if you haven't had it, it's a very like soft to the touch. There are bowls that you wash your hands first because you're going to be eating with your hands. Then you're going to dip it in a veggie. Sometimes it's like a spinach stew, whatever. I couldn't see it close enough, so I don't know exactly what they were dipping it in. Then they are taught how to eat it, and you put it in your mouth, and you swallow, and you get the whole amazing, yummy flavor in the back of your throat and then your tummy. It's super delicious. But instead, Juliet, the mom, questions why she can't chew it. Girl, again, keep that to yourself. Go ahead and chew it. No one cares. They're just explaining the culture and the etiquette of how you eat the food. I don't understand why you now have to ask a question that no one wants to hear the answer to because it's a stupid question. Then you go and say, and which is fine if you're right, but that you don't like Nigerian food. It's your first time in Nigeria trying your first food. So maybe you don't like fufu per se, but you don't like all Nigerian food on your first. Okay.
Yeah. You guys, the first time I ate fufu, I cut it with a knife.
Yes, Olivia, it was, and it's so good. Fufu and agasi. That's exactly probably what it was. Oh my God, I hate y'all. I don't hate y'all. I just think it's funny. And she's asked if she can cook, and she says she can cook enough. I needed them to explore that because that sounds like the cooked eggs. Like, what? And then they have the conversation about children, and Aisha is talking about how children are expensive in America, which they are. So she wants to have 2 maximum. Clemente says that's not enough. He prefers 4. And then Aisha says whatever God's plan is. I think that's fair enough. They talk about how women should be submissive in Nigeria, and will she be able to be submissive? And she does this whole talk around about respect in a relationship. And again, I feel like you should be honest about how you feel. Like, don't do a bait and switch. Don't say you're going to be something and not answer the question, and then don't be that, because that's going to cause issues in your relationship. Abby, I feel like you have something to say.
I mean, this was really interesting to me because we met her as a super devout religious person. And I think every sect of Christianity teaches women and wives to be submissive. So I was really confused about why this wasn't just a direct yes answer from her.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Not that I believe in being submissive, but it was just interesting to me that she's saying that she didn't immediately say yes.
I agree with you.
know.
Consider how much she is like thumping. Like,
Right.
I was just as surprised as you, and I am a believer. So I was just like, what?
Yeah, that was
she kind of just goes wherever. And I think you said it, or someone said it. Maybe it was someone in the live chat, but it's like she doesn't accept the truth. It was you. She doesn't really accept the truth. She just believes what she wants to believe and then says God says that. And that's
exactly.
yeah.
And that's that to her, in my opinion, when she said whatever God wants from us, that wasn't a real answer. That was more of a cop out to get out of the conversation.
Yep.
Because her first answer wasn't however many children God blesses us with. Her first answer was, I want to. And then
That's
when
right.
pushed on the issue, then she like defaulted to let me just throw God in it to get
Yeah.
people off my back. That's how it came out to me. But what was
Yes.
interesting to me in that conversation also was when they asked why only two, and she said because kids are expensive,
Yep.
everyone just brushed right past that. Like the expenses are not a concern. And we've seen a rise in people from large families talking about how, there wasn't enough to go around for everyone financially or in terms of like just conversation, communication, and support from their parents once they got beyond 3 children.
Yep. I agree with Olivia. She picks and chooses, and also God is her. Whatever God wants is what she wants. That's what she believes, and that's
Yes.
the best way to say it. She is her own God, and then she defaults to God as and acts like if this is what's God's will. But no, it's
Yeah.
your will because this is what you want, and you don't listen to anyone else, not including the God that you say you worship. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
She does the same thing that I used to do when I was a kid and I didn't want to go outside and play. I wouldn't just tell the kids, like, oh, I don't want to play today. I'd be like, oh, my dad said I can't come outside.
There you go.
That's what she does.
So they also talk about, and they meaning the sister Blaze and the mom, about how she's always trying to change something in him. And they ask her, what if he likes the way he is? And then Aisha says he doesn't know what he likes. And
Aisha
that
said, I'm going to build this man one way or the other.
and so she talks about some eye damage thing and the colors of the eyes and that whole thing. I was like, okay. And then the sister's like, are you gonna change everything about him? And here's where I thought she was a hypocrite. She's like, she said to their face, no. To us, she said, they need to let him go. You raised him, he's wrong, and let him go, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. She said all of that, you guys. So lie to their face and then also be a hypocrite, because the way she wants to change this man as if she was perfect blows my mind. It blows my mind. That's it.
It's really interesting, though. I want to see this one play out all the way. This is very interesting to me.
It's something. It's something, and let's see where this goes. I'm going to tell you right now that mom is not going to let that guy go in this type of situation unless there's some really different circumstances. She's not going to have, and when the mama's not happy, good luck to you. That's it. We are all done for the night. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys, the live chat was popping. You guys are awesome. What is this? Saray is new.
Hey, Soraya, thanks for joining us. Don't be afraid to talk in the live chat earlier, too.
Just an FYI, Maxwell's home was located in a red zone, which means it's too dangerous to film for production, and so they had to rent an Airbnb for their footage. Maxwell said this in an interview. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know. And thank you for being here. Hey, Judy. Hey, girl. Hey. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will be back soon.
Yes.
Bye
bye for now.
Great conversations.